Thank you very much, Joe, and thank you to everybody for having me, and particularly to be part of this panel of very inspiring speakers so far. You asked me to provide a single slide, which I did. Will you show that or will I? Okay, thanks very much. So I've been asked to talk about self-management, and I'm going to start by saying what I mean by that. And what I mean by it is that it's about enabling and supporting people to be the very best they can be. And that's the opposite of leaving them to manage by themselves if they need support. It's also the opposite of doing things for people that they can do for themselves, or telling them what to do and how to do it. As Joe says, I work with Buurtzorg, which is the Dutch for neighbourhood care. We base our work on some simple assumptions about the human condition, which we believe are universal, and which we think are that we all want to live autonomous, meaningful, and purposeful lives, and to have warm social interactions with others in our community. And that applies whether you need a few weeks support to recover from illness or injury, or continuous support because of an ongoing difficulty or disability, or indeed if your life is approaching its end. And Buurtzorg, which started as one team of 4 nurses about 15 years ago actually now, has grown to around 950 teams, all self-managed, providing both personal and clinical care to people who need it in their homes. Our self-management model begins with our onion model, which you can see on the graphic. It starts at the center with the person needing support, and the professional's first responsibility is to build a relationship with her or him, to learn all about what she wants, what she can do for herself, or could do for herself with some help, and what she needs the professional to do. That involves thinking about how the people in the second layer of the onion could be involved: family, neighbors, friends, the wider community. And that's why one of the key roles of our teams is to know what's going on in the community, to be part of the community, to see where the strengths are and build on them, and if necessary, to contribute to strengthening what needs to be strengthened. But crucially, to support the self-management of that community, as well as the individual, not to replace or undermine its autonomy. So for us, the professionals are not at the center, but in that third layer, supporting the self-management of both individuals and their communities. And a key part of that role of our neighbourhood teams is to help the people they're supporting to navigate and engage with the formal system of care and support: therapists, GPs, social workers, what have you, which is what we see as the fourth and most outlying layer of the onion. Now, all these layers have their roles, and we've heard about them from other speakers this morning, but they're not the same roles, and the relationships between the people concerned are crucial to success. Now, as a professional, whether you're a nurse or any other kind of professional in the care and support environment, you can't build relationships like that or work in that asset-based way unless you have the freedom to do so. In fact, the self-management of individuals needing support and of their communities requires the professionals doing that work also to be self-managed. But again, self-management in this context doesn't mean isolation or lack of support. Again, it actually means the opposite of that. Our professionals take personal responsibility for their work, but they do so in self-managed teams that provide peer support and challenge to each other. Our teams are non-hierarchical, although there are different layers of qualification and experience in them. That's reflected in what they're competent to do, but not in the level of their authority in team decisions. And although some of our professionals are specialists, they work as generalists because the people they support need holistic care, not a long line of disconnected people each doing a discrete task, but a small group who can do all that's needed when it's needed. So, for example, when our teams of nurses and nurse assistants and care workers need to call upon, say, a specialist physiotherapist or occupational therapist, what they will do is build a sort of virtual team for that purpose, which lasts for as long as it's needed. So this is fundamentally about creating a trust-based environment in which professionals are enabled and supported to work in accordance with their professional ethics and craft, but with the person needing support and their communities around them. For that to work, there needs to be not only freedom to make the relationships needed and to do what's needed when it's needed. Equally important is acceptance and exercise in a disciplined way of responsibility about what you do and how you do it, and clarity about the boundaries of professional authority, both in relation to the people they support and to the organization through which they provide that support. That's why our teams work within a clear framework of a few ground rules, which are in three broad categories: to provide great care and support, to enjoy and contribute to an enjoyable working environment, and to do both those things in a way that enables sustainability, financial and other forms of sustainability. Our teams need support from their organization, and they get it. They get support from coaches who don't manage them, who don't tell them what to do or solve their problems for them, but facilitate them to solve problems for themselves when needed and only when needed. And they also benefit from the support of agile, responsive back office, whose role is not to command and control, as it is in the hierarchical public service organizations that we're used to, but to support and serve the frontline professionals, just as those professionals in turn are there to support and to serve the people that they support. So if you like, there's a continuity of logic here from the core relationship between the person needing support and the professional to the relationship between the professionals and their organizations, not command and control, but support and serve in mutually responsible relationships. So to go back to where I started, self-management for us means enabling and supporting people to be the best they can be, to live the purposeful, meaningful lives in an autonomous way as they wish. It means supporting and enabling professionals to work in accordance with their ethics and their craft, and for all concerned to work with an ethical approach. It means authority in decisions and actions where it is needed, and taking personal responsibility within an environment of mutual support. And for us, all of that is and needs to be underpinned with by shared and equal humanity and with love. Thank you very much.